What is going on, crypto family? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on this video, guys, we're going to be talking about a comment that I actually received in the comment section in regards to Bone as well as Unification Fund has been a failure. This is what someone said. They're like, Bone and Fund is a failure. I'm like, yo, you cannot judge an asset until after the bull run because a lot of stuff could happen. And really, if you take a look, I mean, and again, it always goes back to history. Like, if you have not been in the market long enough, if you have not been around multiple cycles, you looking at it like things is just over, nothing is happening, blah, blah, blah. You see Bitcoin going up, you're seeing Pepe, you're seeing all these others. Like, you guys keep getting distracted by other assets, but make sure you are focusing on the one that you had the convict, because again, in order for you to get into an asset, you had to have some type of thesis. At least I'm hoping this is the reason why you get into asset, that you have your own thesis, you have your own game plan to be able to ride the wave of this crypto. So before I dive too deeply into it, do me a huge favor though, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinion about Bone and Unification Fund. Now, again, for me looking at it, and I've been there, because I could sympathize, empathize with you guys, especially for the ones who have not seen like the craziness when it comes to the bull market, going from a bull market, then going to a bear cycle, then riding the whole bear cycle and seeing other assets go. Like, I get it, I get the emotions behind it because I once suffered the same thing. So this is why I think it's very, very important that I'm making this video, because again, we're only 3 months after the halving, and the true bull run, the true explosion in the market have not happened yet. And this is why I kept stressing to you guys before the Bitcoin halving, when you're seeing other influencers were talking about like, yo, Bitcoin halving, we're going to the moon. I was like, nope, pump your brake. It is going to be roughly around like 6 to 7 or even 8 months after the halving to really start to see nice gains. Now, Bitcoin in itself, it is acting irregularly on the positive side, where it is actually inching up faster than it done, previous cycles, which is a good thing. So that means you don't really have to wait that long. But I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys are gonna be able to miss out on huge opportunities that is set before you. I'm talking about layup type of assets that I'm currently talking about, and you're just gonna miss it because you're impatient. You wanna, be rich tomorrow. If you're not rich tomorrow, then boom, I'm gonna clock out. I'm gonna look at another asset such as a Pepe, which is, at a $1 billion market cap. Now I'm gonna move my funds to be able to buy Pepe. Then Pepe next bull cycle does a 10x or a 20 or 30x. Like, again, we're not, at least I'm not in this to try to make 10, 20x, guys. I'm looking for life-changing money, guys. Life-changing money that's going to affect not only me, but generations to come. And assets like, Bone, Unification Fund, Roy and Kitty, those are the type of assets that could potentially change your life. So I'm just going to show you guys again, history, because in order for you guys for this to get drilled in your head, you have to be able to see it. If you don't see it, then again, you're going to do the same mistake that I did last bull run. And that is sell too early because I was impatient. So first, take a quick look at Bitcoin, guys. So the halving, post halving, not a lot of stuff tend to happen, because this yellow line that I drew right here, this was around the 2016 halving. So 3 months afterwards, right? So halving happened in July. So you have August, September, October, even November. Look at the all-time high at the time. The all-time high for Bitcoin at the time was at $1,242. Now, roughly around this time, this perk up right here is when I actually was able to enter into the Bitcoin market, or into crypto. Yeah, I was able to enter into crypto right around when Bitcoin was somewhere around 800 something dollars. Like unknowingly, not knowing anything about a Bitcoin halving, don't know what just happened. All I knew I bought right here, like right around here. And the thing that really interests me the most is seeing, like, when I go back and just seeing how everything progressed. I was like, yo, I known what I know now, and of course it's like this with anything in life. Had you known what you know now, you would have been a millionaire. And truly, that's what it would have boiled down to. But I got in right here, and this is only what 2 or 3 months, guys, after, well, 4 or 5 months after the halving. No breakout. In order for you to start to see your assets to start to see huge run ups, you have to wait till Bitcoin surpasses its all-time highs and start ripping up. If that does not happen, then the assets that you're holding right now is really not gonna do a thing. So right now, buying opportunities. Until Bitcoin surpasses all-time highs, all you're seeing right now is just golden opportunities to be able to load up. So of course, Bitcoin finally rips up. It tried, it couldn't do it. Then think on this round right here, it finally did. And if we just zoom out, I'm just gonna zoom out, and it just went on a tear from the previous cycle's all-time high, which was around $1,200. It boosted all the way up to $19,000. Now, correspondingly, if you look at different assets, look what was happening. Now, this was the start of Cardano, and I'm going to show you various, just two different assets that was popular back in 2017, when it's still popular now. ADA as well as Neo. A lot of you guys probably never heard of Neo, but Neo was a really big asset back in the day. But Neo, as you can see, I mean, it just came out recently in like 2017, but the big run up happened on it during, it happened after we saw a break on Bitcoin on the passing the all-time highs, and we had this nice run up. And again, if you don't understand liquidity pools, you wouldn't understand like why the Bitcoin effect is going to automatically drag the other assets up. So same thing with ADA. Boom, had a nice effect. Now, this is where you guys are panicking or just, losing your mind, because you just got in during a bull cycle. Everything was just going up. Now you had to ride this wave. This is ADA now. You had to ride this wave all the way down. You probably was buying in here thinking that it was just going to keep going on forever. You probably bought the dip here, bought the dip here, bought the dip here. But this is going on for 2 years, guys. 2 years of straight bear market. And we're just literally just coming out of it. Bear market. And, some influencer were telling you like Bitcoin halving, that's supposed to be the magical thing. And when that happened, boom, you're going to become a millionaire. False expectation. So now you're looking at post halving. Now keep in mind, guys, I was buying ADA here, buying it throughout the dip. And right before the halving, I was like, you know what? I am done. I sold during this last dip right here. This, because it started, it was giving me hope like, yo, it's going up, it's going up. Then boom, got flushed out. I got out, and here comes the bull cycle, or here comes the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin halving, now we're starting to see, a little perk up from the all-time lows. But if you take a look at the chart, if you zoom out, it is nowhere near its all-time highs. This looks like, if you're looking at this chart right now, you're looking at this like, oh my God, this is a dead chart. Like, I don't want nothing to do with it. But really, this is the opportunity area for you to be able to get in onto this. So next thing you know, you got, Bitcoin halving happened in May. You have June, July, October, and it looks like nothing is happening. But if you take a look, guys, at Bitcoin, let me zoom in. Let me fast forward it. This is the whole bear cycle. Bear cycle, here comes the halving. If you take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin still has not surpassed its all-time high. So if in the month of June, July, August, nothing is really happening. So this is why the corresponding of this crypto asset, nothing has happened for it as well too. But it's not until, guess what? Bitcoin surpasses all-time highs and just start going parabolic, this is when you start to see an ADA go boom parabolic. Because look, it matches with the correspondence of Bitcoin surpassing its all-time highs, and now you're starting to see a quote-unquote alt season. And people be thinking like, oh, we're already past alt season, or alt season aren't. Like, no, alt season does not happen until after, guys, until after Bitcoin surpasses all-time highs and continue to keep having a leg up. So until that happens, we're nowhere near it. So boom, had you been buying it in here, you would have got in ADA roughly what? I want to say it was like 3 cents or something like that. 2-3 cents. Then boom, you get this. It goes all the way up to 2 cents. So a nice little 100x. Same thing with Neo. Neo was an old, but the thing about Neo, and the reason why I think it's still not even dead, it's still an oldie, but they stopped working. The team really stopped working. You haven't seen them go out in the forefront advertising themselves. They made their money and they're just pretty much content. Like, this thing is just still on the blockchain. But even after that, guys, look, for a technically quote unquote token that the team is not really working on, it still had a nice pop. Because right around here, it was at $9. This is the halving. Post halving, you have June, July, August. Nothing is really happening. So it looks like, oh my God, this big disappointing, because at the time when it was over here, it was roughly at $17. During the bull cycle, this was at 100 and something bucks. So it looks very disappointing, but guess what happened? When Bitcoin started having a rip up, the same thing ended up happening. So this is the same scenario, same thing that happens over and over and over and over. And if you haven't been around to be able to experience multiple cycles, I'm afraid you're going to be able to miss out on, again, the easiest opportunity within the market to be able to make money. Because again, look at Bitcoin, all-time high breach, and boom, it went off to the races. And of course, the other assets follow it. Now, this brings us back to where we're currently at right now. We are just, 2-3 months after the halving? And we still have not passed the all-time high, guys. I'm talking about breaking it and having the follow-up momentum. We still have not seen that. We're approaching it, but we have not seen that yet. Once we are able to see that, cryptos like Bone, currently sitting at 54 cents. Unification, if they continue to build and be active, yes, this is going to be a top tier crypto. So, like I mentioned, guys, $3 million market cap. Bone's market cap is not correct. I think it's like sub 100. But cryptos like this is where you're going to be able to make the most bank, especially if the team is still working. The market condition, that is a huge factor into making the type of money that you guys are inspiring or aspiring to be able to make. So, Roaring Kitty, $2.7 million market cap. Like, this is low market cap, guys. Low market cap. And once the market in itself really starts to move, like all of it, Bitcoin is just going to automatically drag up the overall market. So hopefully, to the person who commented and said like, oh, it's a big disappointment, you can't judge it until after the bull cycle, sometime next year, late next year is when the bull cycle is going to end. So you can't make an assessment about an asset until you start seeing Bitcoin ripping faces. And if that asset is not doing anything, then you could be like, oh, it's a big disappointment and the bull market is over with. Yeah. But until then, hey, you guys can do what you want with your bag. Me, I'm looking for the opportunities to be able to say, hey, I took full advantage of this bear cycle that we had, as well as took full advantage of this bull cycle to be able to change, again, not only my life, but also my family's life as well. So I don't know about you guys, but that is something that's going to happen this cycle. And it's only going to happen to the ones that's prepared. If you're not studying, if you're not coming out, taking a look, making your own thesis about any of these assets, then unfortunately, you're just going to, You may make some money, make like 10x, but again, at the end of the day, that's not going to be like life-changing money unless if you put huge amount of capital into it. But really, guys, that is all that I have for you today. Just wanted to drop this little wisdom knowledge on you guys, so that way you guys could be better prepared for this cycle coming up. But that is all. Random March signing off. Peace.